Scream 7 Family Trees. Prescott, Meeks, and Weathers' relatives and children, photos. Scream 7's complex family tree needs more attention after the return of several notable legacy characters, including the unexpected comeback of one former Ghostface killer. The family trees of the original characters from 1996's Scream have consistently played significant roles in the long line of Ghostface killers throughout the franchise, either as victims or the actual murderers. The seventh installment in the long-running horror franchise from Paramount Pictures goes back to basics, focusing on Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott and her family. Aside from the Prescotts, the sequel also featured the return of Gale Weathers, along with some family members from the Meeks Martin heritage line. Scream 7 has a stacked cast of new and returning legacy characters, headlined by Isabel May, Neve Campbell, McKenna Grace, Courtney Cox, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, and Matthew Lillard. Maureen Prescott is Sidney's mother, the secret biological mother of Roman Bridges, and Tatum's deceased grandmother. While Maureen died before the events of 1996's Scream even began, she is a central character in the grand scheme of things because she is actually the original catalyst for the franchise's chain of murders and revenge plots through the years. More of Maureen's past was unearthed in Scream 3. Where it was revealed that she was actually a victim of abuse as an actress that led to the birth of her illegitimate child, Roman. Neil Prescott is Maureen's husband, Sidney's father, and Tatum's grandfather. Following Maureen's death, Neil became a single father to Sidney, helping her navigate grief and responsibility as she enters adulthood in Woodsboro. While fans last saw Neil on screen in Scream 3, it is unknown whether he is still alive during the events of Scream 7. Some have theorized that he and Sidney drifted apart, which explains why he is not mentioned much in recent movies. John Milton is the abuser and orchestrator behind Maureen Prescott's pregnancy that led to the birth of Roman Bridger. In Scream 3, Milton was killed by Roman after he discovered his part in Maureen's assault. Milton is an executive producer at Sunrise Studios, the film company responsible for the in-universe Stab film series. Sidney Prescott is perhaps considered the main character of the Scream franchise because she has been a consistent protagonist across most of the movies, except Scream 6, and because of her repeated confrontations with various versions of the Ghostface killers. She is Maureen's daughter, Tatum's mother, Roman's half-sister, and Mark's wife. Scream 7 sees Sidney being pushed to the limit after a much more dangerous version of Ghostface starts to target her daughter, Tatum, and those closest to her. Given her proven experience with dealing with psycho killers in the past, Sidney has a clear advantage over these new Ghostface murderers, but the fact that her daughter is a primary target makes her vulnerable in times of crisis. Roman Bridger is Sidney's half-brother and Maureen's son from an unknown father due to the abuse she experienced. Roman is one of, if not the most, polarizing figures in the Scream franchise because he is the confirmed architect behind the killings that took place in the original trilogy. This is on top of the big reveal that Roman is the Ghostface killer in Scream 3. After Maureen refused to acknowledge Roman as her son, this lit a fire inside of him to pursue revenge against his own mother, leading to his deep resentment towards Sidney and manipulating Stu Matcher and Billy Loomis to kill Maureen, which kick-started the events of the franchise. Tatum Evans makes her debut in the Scream franchise in the 7th installment. She is Sidney Prescott's eldest daughter and the primary target of the new Ghostface in Scream 7. She also has two other unnamed little sisters, briefly referenced in the movie. Marketing footage for Scream 7 confirmed a rift between Sidney and Tatum, with actress Isabel May revealing in a behind-the-scenes featurette that her character's resentment is deeply rooted in the fact that she doesn't have the relationship she wants with her mother. Ghostface's arrival in Scream 7 would force the pair to reflect on their relationship while they try to survive the killing spree that ensues in the small town. Scream 7 introduced Mark Evans, Sidney's husband and the chief of police of the Pine Grove Police Department. As a natural protector, Mark understood Sidney's trauma from the past killings, and he knew what he was getting into upon marrying her and having a family. Mark is hellbent on protecting his family against the new wave of Ghostface killers, even if it means sacrificing himself for their safety. Randy Meeks is the Scream franchise original horror expert and a beloved character in the franchise who appeared in the first two movies. Randy survived the first wave of Ghostface killings in Scream, but he suffered a different fate in Scream 2 after Nancy Loomis murdered him as an act of revenge for Billy Loomis's death from the first movie. While Randy did not appear in Scream 7, his legacy lives on through the appearances of his two close family members, Mindy and Chad Meeks Martin. Martha Meeks is Randy's younger sister and the eventual mother of fraternal twins, Chad Meeks Martin and Mindy Meeks Martin. While the identity of her husband has yet to be revealed in the Scream franchise, Martha is crucial as another living link to the original trilogy, and her legacy also lives on through Chad and Mindy's more prominent roles in the sequels. Mindy Meeks Martin is Martha's daughter, Chad's twin sister, and Randy Meeks' niece in the Scream franchise. She is an aspiring reporter who is working with Gale Weathers to deliver breaking news across the state. Mindy has been a consistent character in the reboot sequel phase of the Scream franchise, appearing in the last 3 installments, including Scream 7. Mindy appears to have inherited her Uncle Randy's love for the horror genre because she is usually the one with meta-knowledge about horror movies and delivers a fearless attitude during Ghostface encounters. In Scream 7, Mindy joins Chad and Gale in trying to help Sydney and her family figure out the identity of the new Ghostface. Chad Meeks Martin is Martha's son, Mindy's twin brother, and Randy's nephew. He also serves as the main cameraman of Gale's TV crew in Scream 7. Chad is portrayed as the jock of the core group, using his athletic skills to evade Ghostface's murderous rampage across 3 movies so far. Dewey Riley is the ex-husband of Gale Weathers and Tatum Riley's older brother, who has successfully evaded Ghostface's killing spree in the first 4 movies. However, his luck ran out eventually after he was killed by Ghostface in Scream 5. Dewey's evolution in the Scream franchise ranged from an incompetent, clumsy deputy to a responsible, protective sheriff who tried his best to protect the town from the killings. Gale Weathers is Dewey's ex-wife and Sydney's friend, who made history as the only main character who appeared in every entry in the Scream franchise. Gale has evolved from an opportunistic journalist to a resilient survivor with a no-nonsense attitude capable of protecting her friends and family, no matter what. Gale makes a triumphant return in Scream 7 to help Sydney deal with the new batch of Ghostface killers, lending her expertise after suffering a similar, and most recent, attack in New York that took place in Scream 6. Tatum Riley is Dewey's younger sister, Sydney Prescott's best friend, and Stu Matcher's girlfriend from Scream. While she died in the first movie, Tatum's legacy lives on in Scream 7, as Sydney names her eldest daughter after her, a way to pay tribute to the close bond they forged before her death.